Hello everyone, welcome to Visionary Generation Tube. This is Mr. Johannes Sede. It's a long time after we stopped our lesson, but today we will continue our English grammar lessons. Very good. Today we will continue from the last part. I think last part was about conditional sentences. Conditional sentences are sentences which talks about a condition and its result. That means what happens if something happens. Now we saw about zero conditional and conditional sentence type 1. And today we will continue from conditional sentence type 2 and conditional sentence type 3. You can get the previous lesson about zero conditionals and the conditional sentence type 1 from previous video or conditional sentences part 1. And conditional sentences type 2, or what we say improbable condition. That means, as you know, that there are four kinds of conditional sentences: zero conditionals, conditional sentence type 1, or probable condition, and conditional sentence type 2, or what we say a real condition, or what we say imaginary or hypothetical, and the last one is conditional sentence type 3. That is impossible condition. And today we will see about this condition. That's what we say improbable condition. That means which is unreal, the present or future. We start by seeing from its form and the uses. Har'agaa akkuma jalqaba dubbadhe conditional sentence type 2 fi conditional sentence type 3 walii wajjin ilaalla jechuudha. Yeroo darbee bal'inaan kan ilaalle viidiyoo darbee keessatti argachuu kan dandeessan conditional sentence type 1 dhaa fi zero conditional ilaalle turre. Zero conditionaliin wanta faaktii yookiin dhugaa qabatamaa ta'e akkasumas waan saayinsiidhaan mirkanaa'e kan ittiin haasofnu yoo ta'u, conditional sentence type 1 immoo probable condition yookiin immoo wanti tokko yoo wanti tokko ta'e gara fuulduraatti wanti ta'e tokko immoo ta'uu yookiin dhiisuu wanta danda'u foormii isaas ilaalleerra, faayidaa isaas ilaallee fakkeenyotaa fi aktiivitiiwwan isinii kenneen ture. Har'as bifuma wal fakkaataadhaan conditional sentence type 2, conditional sentence type 3 walii wajjin ilaalla. Hamma dhumaatti caqasuu dandeessu jechuudha. So here there is conditional sentence type 2. What we say conditional sentence type 2, let's start from its form. As you know, all conditional sentences have two parts or two body, which are called if clause and main clause. If clause and main clause. Ciroo of dandaaf ciroo harkataa yookiin immoo ciroo harkataa fi ciroo of dandaa qabu jechuudha. Conditional sentences har'agaa foormii isaanii if clause yookiin immoo dependent clause irratti maal ta'u, main clause yookiin immoo independent clause irratti conditional sentence type 2 foormii akkamii qaba kan jedhu ilaalla jechuudha. So the form for conditional sentence type 2 is it is if clause or dependent clause. Row ikatan isa if plus past simple tense type. Past simple. You know, the form of past simple is subject plus verb 2. Subject plus verb 2. And it is main clause, or what we say independent clause will be what we say would plus base verb or verb 1. So for conditional sentences type 2, the form will be if plus simple past, and the main clause will be subject plus would plus verb 1. Would plus verb 1 ta'a jechuudha. Kun formii conditional sentence type 2 qabudha jechuudha. So we use this conditional sentence type 2 to talk about when we see about the uses. The uses of conditional sentence type 2 is to talk about a real condition. or imaginary situation are real or imaginary situation or condition now, which is imaginary now, which is unreal now. Kan nuti conditional sentence type tuudhaan haasofnu wanti tokko waan hamma hin taane tokko wanta amma hin taane tokko gara fuulduraatti imaginary wanta ta'e yookiin immoo wantichi waan hamma dhugaa hin taane jechuudha. Fakkeenyaaf taateen ta'e tokko utuu ta'uu qabu utuu hin ta'in hafee rizaaltii isaa yookiin immoo wanti ta'uu sababii sanaatiin wanti ta'uu qabu immoo bifa akkas ta'a ture jennee wanta nuyi dhiyeessinu jechuudha. So we use the conditional sentence type to talk about our real situation, which is imaginary. When? Now. Ammatti imaginary. Akkana jechuun maal jechuudha? Gara fuulduraatti yoo situation sun context condition sun yoo guutame gara fuulduraatti immoo ta'uu danda'a jechuudha. For example, mee fakkeenya tokko asirraa for examples, if I had money, if I had money, I would buy a phone. If I had money, I would buy a phone. That means since I don't have money now, I don't buy phone jechuudha. Sababa maallaqa hin qabneef bilbila bituu hin dandeenye jechuudha ammatti. Garuu utuun maallaqa qabaadhee bilbilan bitaadha. Bilbilan bitaan ture garuu amma hin qabu. Kanaaf bilbila hin binne. Arriiliidha jechuudha. Bilbila bituun arriil situation jechuudha. Wantichi maallaqa dhabuutu arriil situation jechuudha. Garuu maal ta'uu danda'a? This can be fulfilled in the future if I will have money in the future. Gara fuulduraatti yoo maallaqa qabaadhe garuu bilbila bitachuu nan danda'a jechuudha. Another example, if she studied hard, she would pass the exam. She would pass the exam. This showed that because of she didn't study hard, she didn't pass the exam now. But if she study hard in the future, she will pass. So, as I have told you before, if a clause is constructed from the past simple, from if and the past simple, and its main clause is formed from would plus verb 1. So, if she studied hard, she would pass the exam. Another example is if I were a teacher, if I were a doctor, for example, if I were a doctor, I would help patients. I will help patients. If what? If I were a doctor, I would help patients. Otun doktora ta'eera ta'e silaa dhukkubsattootan gargaaran ture. Because now I am not a doctor, so I am not helping patients. When we come to here, this should not confuse you. Asitti kun isin dogoggorsuun qabu jechuudha. Akkuma jenne simple past tense keessatti be verbs kan jennu jiru. Isaanis was, were kan jennu jechuudha. Was you wearing? Be verbs in the past. In normal language sentences, we say I was, not I were. For example, in normal English, if I want to talk about myself, about my past, I would say I was born in Nekant. I was born in Nekant. I was born in Arjo. I was born in 1989. I was born. But when we come to in conditional sentences type 2, in conditional sentences type 2, all subjects take were, not was. So in conditional sentences, or especially in conditional sentence type 2, we don't say if I was. We don't say if I was. Rather, we say I were. If I were. This works for all subjects. That means with I, we, you, he, she, it, and they. We use in conditional sentences type 2 were, not was. The other thing, we can interchange the place of uh, main clause and the if clause. That means I can say, I would have patients if I were a doctor. I would help patients if I were a doctor is possible. When we come to the other conditional sentences, what do we say? Conditional sentences type 3. What do we say? Impossible condition. Impossible, impossible condition. The form for this condition or conditional sentences type 3, the conditional sentence type 3 has its own structure. Its own structure. So let's see. The if clause part of the conditional sentence type 3 is if plus past perfect. Past perfect. You know, the form for past perfect is what we say had plus verb 3. Had plus verb 3. This is the verb for past perfect. And the main clause is would have plus past participle. Past participle. What we say past participle is verb 3. That means would have plus verb 3. Would have plus verb 3. The use of this condition is the use of this conditional sentence type 3 is to talk about things that did not happen in the past. So we talk about a real past, something which is unreal in the past. So we use this condition to talk about or write about something or things that did not, okay, that did not happen, that did not happen in the past. In the past. Kan jechuun maal jechuudha? Waan yeroo darbe keessa hin ta'in hafi gaabbii utuu akkas ta'eera ta'e silaa akkas ta'a jennee gaabbii wanta ittiin agarsiisnudha jechuudha kan nuti itti haasofnu. So this again it is to show past regrets. Okay, past regrets. To show past regrets means gaabbii yeroo darbee ittiin agarsiisuudhaaf gargaaramne jechuudha. Let's see some examples. For examples, if I had studied, if I had studied, have you seen? Had studied. If I had studied is the past perfect. I would have I would have passed the exam. I would have passed the exam. Kana gaafa isa kana wajjin wal bukkee qabne ilaallu, if she studied hard, she would pass the exam. This is are real present, and this is are real in the past. Kun maal jedhaa? If I had studied, I would have passed. It says. Utuuni yeroo darbe keessa qo'adheera ta'e, yeroo darbe yoom? Yeroo darbe in the past. Yeroo darbe keessa tun qo'adheera ta'e silaa qormaata nan darban ture. Kana jechuun maal jechuudha? Gatiin hin qo'anneef kufeera jechuudha yeroo darbe keessa. Kanaaf gaabbiin agarsiisaa jira asitti. Asitti garuu tun jabaadhee qo'adhee nan darban turedha. When present time, okay? In the present. But this is in the past. Another example. If he had come early, if he had come, if he had come early, so anybody understand? He would have met the teacher. He would have met the teacher. He would have met the teacher because of he didn't come early. He didn't meet his teacher. Sababii bariidhaan ganamaan hin dhufne maaliif ta'ani jechuudha? Barsiisaa isaa hin agarre. Utuu ganamaan dhufeera ta'ee garuu barsiisaa isaa hin arga ture. Gaabbiidha jechuudha. Yeah. The last example is if we had saved money. If we had saved. If we had saved money, we would have bought bicycle. We would have bought what? Bicycle. Okay? Bicycle. Have you seen? If we had saved, the past perfect, and would have bought, would have plus past or verb 3. So, in general, today we have discussed about the conditional sentences type 2, which we say improbable condition, are real present, and conditional sentences type 3, which is impossible or are real past, which is used to show about past 3 grades. Kanaaf har'a kan nuti walii wajjin barannee conditional sentences type 2 dhaa fi conditional sentences type 3 dha jechuudha. So let me give you activities at the end, and you try and you put in comments. Commentii keessa keessu maalan isinii kennaa activity yookiin gochan isiniif kenna jechuudha. Choose the correct answer. So the correct answer. Number 1. If I dash rich. If I dash rich, I would help my family. My family. A. B. Was. C. Where. D. A and B. To give you tip when you do questions with conditional sentences, you have to know the forms of the conditional sentences. Once you know the form of the conditional sentences with it is if the clause part and the main clause part, you can easily do the activities or questions related to the conditional sentences. For example, let's do this question as example to show you as a tip. If I dash rich, I would help my family. So you can identify whether this question is conditional sentence type 2 or 3 based on the given form. For example, here the main clause given here is would plus help. would plus help. Help is verb 1. So if the main clause which has would plus verb 1 or base verb is conditional sentence type 2. And the if clause part of the conditional sentence type 2 is if plus past simple. If plus past simple. So here are the verb to be's. So in past simple, in conditional sentence type 2, be verbs when the subject given and the be verbs should be where I said. Maal jenne rasila conditional sentence keessatti gaafa hojjennu dura paartiin tokko kennamee taanaan paartiin tokkoon sun foormii isaa maal akka ta'e adda baafachuu qabna. Foormii isaa erga adda baafannee booddee foormii isaa amma fakkeenyaaf asitti kan jedhu I would help my family. Main clause isaa kana would helping immoo kan conditional sentence type 2 jechuudha yookiin improbable conditionality. Kanaaf bakka duwwaa guutame bakka duwwaa kana immoo maal barbaanna jechuudha kan conditional sentence type 2 if clause isaa maal ta'a jennee barbaanna jechuudha. So easily the answer should be what? C, because of be verbs where is used with all subjects we said. Saaf immoo sintu hojjetaa ifufaati dubbisaa seeraan hojjedhaa. If she dash harder, comma, she would have passed the exam. She would have passed the exam. A, studies. B, will study. C, hard studied. D, studied. Okay, complete instruction to complete sentences or complete the conditional sentences. Complete the conditional sentences. Okay, 3. If I had a car, comma, I dash to school. I dash to school. Use the verb drive and complete the blank space. 4. If they had arrived early, if they had arrived early, they dash the march. The word given here is they see. Okay, C is given. So try to complete this blank space and these activities and put in comment section. Thank you for watching. Waan daawwattaniif galatoomaa. Dhumarratti yaadannoo barannoo kanaa kan zero conditionalidhaa fi kaasee amma conditional sentence type 2 kan jiru descriptionii keessaa linkii jiru tuqxanii telegiraamii irraa dhattanii argachuu dandeessu. Waan daawwattaniif galatoomaa. Yeroo hundumaa yaadi keessan immoo na utubaa waan ta'eef yaada keessan naa kennuu hin qaana'inaa hin saalfatinaa. Baay'een isin jaalladhaa. Ifaadhaa. Thank you. Goodbye.